previously that I would do about some recent book purchases and acquisitions. And I say it that way because this Bible did not cost us anything. Well, maybe in a roundabout way you could say it did, but so the story is we were in Michigan this past week on vacation. We were shopping at a little gift shop across from the place where we were staying, and they had a shelf where you could take a book if you left a book, and then if you didn't have a book to donate, you could purchase the book for half. Oh, I don't remember. It was like no more than $5. I think maybe they were labeled, so you could purchase one, but not have to pay more than $5. I think that's how it went. So we happened to see this really nice Bible there, and we were looking at it, and we were looking all over for a price tag on it. Now, I have several Bibles in my home. I like to do Bible journaling. I have a couple different Bibles that I use for that. I have Bibles that I read and study from, make notes in, and that kind of thing. A couple little ones that I stick in my purse for Sunday morning or whatever. So I don't really need more Bibles, but this, in the strictest sense of the word, just like you don't need another pen, but somehow you always get them. Anyway, this is a beautiful Bible. We looked at it and it seemed like it was in marvelous shape. So we're kind of paging through. There's no writing in it. There's no highlighting. It's just very pristine. And I actually really like this. This is an older version of the Life Application Bible. It doesn't have the color to the pages, but I love the format. Scripture up here, cross references here, and down here, notes. The Life Application Bible is all about applying the Bible to your life. What does it mean? How can I apply this? What is God saying to me through this passage? How does His Word apply in modern times? And so it's a great setup, and I'm really, really drawn to this. I also like how they have the summary of each book, a little introduction. The summary, this is like a summary of the book, an introduction to the book, and then they have like what they call vital statistics, as you can see, but the key things of each book of the Bible. So I just thought it was wonderful. But like I said, I don't really need one. But as we were looking at it, the lady that owns the shop said, you can have the Bible. We were just looking and thinking, oh, how much would this cost? And then she very generously said, go ahead and take it. You can have it. So we did buy stuff in the shop afterwards, so it wasn't essentially a free Bible, although it was, but I'm just being funny. We did buy stuff, so I think since she was getting rid of it anyway, this was hers. She was happy to give it to somebody who wanted the Bible. And what I am going to do with it is donate it to an organization that our church is involved with called, I think it's called Love Packages. And what they do is they send Bibles, Christian reading materials, devotionals, you name it, helpful books in the Christian walk or Bible study. So I bought this, I obtained this. I took this with the idea that I would donate it, and it really is in good shape. There's a couple little marks here and there, and then this gilting on the edge has a couple little scratches, but I mean, it's an amazing shape. So I really thought that was very kind of that lady. Now let me show you what I ordered from Christian book distributors. This stuff arrived when we got home from our trip, so it was super fun. But I know that's an Amazon. Well, I'll just show you this. This one I bought from Amazon. I bought the Audible book. Actually, I had a free credit, and we tried to listen to it on our vacation. But it's so meaty. There's so much to it. I just decided to buy the book so I can highlight it because I write all over books. This is really a neat book. The bit that I did here was fascinating, very encouraging, and grounding. So it basically talks about not getting into the progressive Christianity, the anything goes point of view that really isn't scriptural, how to be grounded in the beliefs of the Christian faith. I guess that's a good way of summarizing it. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink of my iced Earl Grey. I have like constant allergies. I'm always clearing my throat, so sorry about that. That probably gets super annoying. I picked this up with the Christian Book Distributor sale. It's like $1.19. And I just thought this would be a handy little book because it summarizes each book of the Bible with the author, the date, what it's about in 10 words or less, more detail of the book. Quotable would be the scripture passages that summarize, encapsulate the gist of the whole book. How is it unique and unusual? And so what? So that's like, yeah, that's neat. How can you apply that to your life? So super cheap, and I just thought that would be a handy reference tool. Maybe just stick it in the pocket of my Bible. The other thing I was super excited about was getting this Story of Redemption Bible. I'm looking at my notes. So it was only $12, and the listing price was $40. So again, I thought if it's not really something that I can use, I will donate it to the same organization I previously mentioned. But I do want to show you this book just a little bit because it's so beautifully done. This slipcover is a creamy white, and all this lettering, if it's not showing up, is gold. And if you were to take off the slipcover, you have a, I'm not sure if it's navy blue or black. I think it's black, and it's also very striking, even maybe more so with the contrast of the light and the dark. So just let's look at the features. It has the 9.25 type Milo 8.5 for the for the notes. It's single column paragraph format, nearly 9,000 notes, all new book introductions, 80 plus all new maps, illustrations, and timelines, a fold out timeline in the back. I didn't notice that earlier, and premium cream colored paper. So you open it up, and it's got this kind of gold tone, but it's almost like it's on craft paper. You know, that brown. It's not really craft paper, but reminds me of that. Kind of a pretty purplish blue. I'm sure it's got a technical name. So this is the presentation page. I mean, you could figure all that out. And then there's this, which is kind of like this, but it's actually in your book here. So the slipcover just, you know, keeps it. Is slipcover the right name? Anyway, that keeps that safe. But you actually have the beautiful artwork contained within the Bible. So what drew me to this is, first of all, it's introducing the process of their format for this book and how they came up with and decided upon the various aspects. But anyway, I picked this because it is a Bible that shows the story of redemption. So before even creation, God knew that there would need to be redemption. And so throughout Scripture, we see the story of redemption, and this Bible shows God's plan for his people, for the world to come to know him, and how he devised a redemption plan after sin entered into the world. So there's a little bit with each chapter, and it kind of summarizes what you're reading or points to God's hand in biblical history. And I just thought that would be neat, because I know you can see types of Christ throughout Scripture, or references to him or prophetic references. This Bible encapsulates all that. That's my word for today. That's the second time I've used that. Count and see how many more times. Anyway, I thought it was really neat. And it was only $12. And, like I said, if I can't use it or end up finding that it's a little bit maybe redundant with the other resources I have, this would be a wonderful tool for the love boxes. And by the way, that organization ships Bibles and materials to pastors worldwide in remote places that do not even have a Bible, or maybe they have a portion of the Bible or a page of the Bible. They might not even have that. So to receive a brand new Bible would be really nice, I think. And I just think it's absolutely beautiful. I think it would be fun to go through this and choose like maybe 3 of the, or, I don't know, however many colors, but a simple color scheme, and highlight maybe the passages that point to Christ in the Old Testament, pointing to Christ in the New Testament, looking at him now and looking to his further interaction with mankind. So, like just keeping it real neat and tidy looking with just limited markings and color. Just for the process of it, because when you highlight, when you look for specific things, you find so much treasure, so much wealth of information, and so much of the character of God that it's just so enlightening and such a wonderful process to read through the Bible and look closely for nuggets along the way of information, of truth or encouragement and so forth. So that is that. I won't page through it totally. I'd be happy to answer questions. If you do have a question about this, I can look it up. Here's the timeline though. I just looked at this briefly yesterday when we got back, and I think that is pretty cool. That's just a general timeline of scripture from Genesis through Revelation. And there is forgot to mention, a reading plan in the back. And all the writing, the text is in black or bold print black, but then the chapters and headings, some of the headings, I think just the chapter and the page numbers are these things, headings, they are in a gold ink. So it has to hit the light a certain way. And where I film is not the best for catching all the subtleties of color in this book. It's very simple, it's very elegant, and I think the content, the additional content that is enlightening to the scriptural portions will be very interesting. So I went on a bit about that, but I had not seen that before. So when that popped up, sorry, another drink of Earl Grey here. This is like a London fog, an iced London fog. It's Earl Grey, vanilla syrup, and almond milk. I need to do the Earl Grey stronger next time because it just kind of tastes like vanilla, but it's good. But I need more Earl Grey. Some drips. Okay, and then last but not least, these were also on sale. I couldn't pass them up. I thought they might make some nice gifts. And I'm just checking my order notes here. These are the ESV Illustrated Scripture Journal it is just Psalms. Those were on sale for $9.49, $9.50, and they were normally about $15. And I, first of all, loved the chunk of this. I saw it on their website, and this one's a little bit scratched up. I thought that would be super fun for our Bible journaling. Just focus on the Psalms. I do have an illustrated faith illustrating Bible that's Psalms and Proverbs. So I don't know that I will keep one of these, but I may. This is the interleaved type journal, Bible journaling book with the interleave. So in other words, every other page you go from scripture to a blank page and so on. Occasionally they have a highlighted verse. I guess you could add some more color to that. This is also the gold, I'm noticing. It's like a, I wouldn't call any of these really like a bright gold. It's maybe antiqued gold kind of look to it, or burnished gold if there's such a thing, which I really like. So I just thought this size was really nice. I love the chunkiness of it. It's like a full-size Bible in a way, but it's just Psalms, and the reason it takes up so much space is because of the spacing. This part, there are some note space in the margin. These are spaced, each line is spaced further apart so that you can highlight, circle a word, add a note about some insight you gain in your study, so on and so forth. So it is designed to be written in, embellished, studied, used. And I think, as one would go through this, it would just develop quite a bit of luscious, detailed personality, which is so nice about the artistic angle of Bible journaling, I think. And here's this. Pages like that. Simpler illustrations like this. Let's see, we'll just do a quick flip through. I'm sure there are more large illustrations like that one. Yeah, here's another one. I have always loved the Psalms. They're one of my favorite books of the Bible. And you can go to them for encouragement, for comfort, for peace, for a sense of reminding, as a reminder of God's control over the course of human history. There's even prophecy in here. Psalm 22 talks about Jesus' death on the cross. Just one of the beautiful things about Scripture is its interwovenness. Is that a word? From Old Testament to New Testament. Anyway, that's all. Sorry, hang on. I do not need to go on and on, but I purchased 3 of those. I have a friend who's having a birthday soon. Well, actually, she had a birthday, and I didn't get her a gift in time. I think I will give her one of these, and then the other 2, I'm not sure about, but isn't that neat with the deer? One of the verses in the Psalms, which I do not have memorized, is, "As the deer pants for water, so my soul longs after you, O God." And so I just think that's a very apt selection for the artistic cover of the Psalms. I wanted to show you a few things I picked up from my trip. If you're interested, our Michigan trip. If you're not, maybe you're just here for the book review or the book summary, book purchase summary, you can go ahead and stop here. Otherwise, let's take a look at my couple of goodies. I did buy myself a t-shirt. I'm wearing it, so I can't show you. And then we went to a cute little place called the Ivy Cottage. The couple that lives there actually lives in the back of the shop, and in the front there were flowers everywhere. I will try to remember to insert a picture. I'm learning how to do that. I'll show you a picture of it. The flowers that they had in Michigan, oh my goodness, they were so huge and beautiful. So this one is kind of funny here at the corner. I bought something like this in Branson, Missouri before, and it seemed a little bit more square, like this just rounds. But the other one that I have, I love, and so I saw this for a couple dollars cheaper, and I decided to pick it up again for a gift. So these are amazing. These are knitted. I don't know anything about knitting, but my friend Dana said, yes, this is just knitted. And what makes it so bulky and nice and thick is the type of cording used. So I told her, suggested to her, she could make these and give them away for gifts. If I knew how to knit, I would do this, but I just love it. It works as like a trivet. It would be a little bit thick for a pot holder, but you could. You definitely could. I like to use mine if I boiled water, I set my kettle on it, or something hot out of the oven that I don't want to put directly onto I think we have quartz. It's not granite, so I guess, yeah, it's quartz, and the sudden temperature isn't good for it. So I like to use these, and I wanted to get one for a friend that would enjoy that too. I would call this a very faded coral or peach. This was made in India, if you're interested. It's all cotton. Square cotton crochet pot holder. They come in 4 colors. I have one that's khaki. It's like this color of that tag. Anyway, bought it at 2 different spots, but origin from the same country. I think they're terrific. You know what? This is called blush. That's probably what people call blush. Okay, then this was not made in Michigan. This was made in China, but is adorable. And I thought my about 1.5-year-old granddaughter, Kaylin, would love to have this little kitty. See, it's got little bloomers on, or little undies that are so cute, and it's polka dot here, polka dotted there, and look at the little tail here. This is like a muslin, I think. Little embroidered face, and Kaylin is so little and tiny and active and cute, and she'll pick up a stuffed animal and hold it next to her neck like she's hugging it. It's adorable. So I am excited to give this to her, and I mentioned to her mom, my daughter Kristen, that it'll be a fun toy for Kaylin and a snack for their 2 big dogs if they get a hold of it. So anyway, another thing that was at the Ivy Cottage was these really nice soaps. I did buy another one I gave to a friend already. But it's funny because it's made in England. So Kim, if you are watching, look at that. I have an English product in Michigan. And it's so cute. There were 3 different kinds. I picked up this one because the scent includes, here, it's right here. Notes of citrus, jasmine, and violet. And I've always liked that sweet violet scent and flowers. So it's really pleasant. It would look really cute on a bathroom shelf, but it's also going to be really nice to use. Again, probably will end up being a gift. But anyway, I thought that was absolutely adorable, and it smells wonderful. So I picked up that, and then along the way, I got a couple of these enamel. These aren't all enamel. This is probably a sticker, but I like to collect these when we go somewhere as a little souvenir. I put them on a little canvas liner in my basket where I keep my journals. And then the thing that I'm really excited to show you is this handmade pottery. We went to the Henry Ford. It's called the Henry Ford. I guess it's not cool to say museum anymore. So we went to the Henry Ford, and they had a nice gift shop. And at the Henry Ford Museum, there is a place called Greenfield Village, which is a collection, or not collection, but a gathering of all sorts of historic buildings that have been, I think, generally relocated to this several acre. It was huge. I couldn't believe how huge it was. It's like a mini town, but town and town and town together. So you ride a train around it, and within the park there, it's sort of like an amusement park, but it's a living history area. So all the buildings have some significance in history. And one of the places there is Orville and Wilbur Wright's workshop. So wherever that was has been relocated to Greenfield Village. So I rattle on, but if you're interested, that's why I'm telling you that. We didn't get to go through there. We just ran out of day. We spent our whole day inside the place where they have old cars and farm machinery. There's the chair where Abraham Lincoln was shot, which is kind of morbid but fascinating. There were United States presidential cars there. I mean, just tons and tons of stuff. Train cars. It was amazing, humongous. So worth going to, though. Very, very fascinating. And the people there that were like the greeters were so knowledgeable. They asked us all our interests. My husband and I went with our last two kids, Noah, who is 18, and Drew, who is 16, and they talked to them and asked them what their interests were and found some connection point. So Noah's into welding, so they found a way to point out something that might have interested him. They heard about Drew's interest in certain cars, and they mentioned a particular area within the museum that he would like to see. So it was just super neat, but the place is absolutely huge. And then so to see that and go to the village was impossible. But I saw this. I talked to the, what do you call the person who checks you out in a store? The clerk? I don't know. That's an old term. Anyway, the lady there was super friendly, and she said these are handmade on site. So this is from the pottery shop at Greenfield Village. And I mean, the modern element to it is that it's dishwasher safe, but they recommend hand washing. It can be microwaved as well. It's food and oven safe. And artisans make this. And so they'll do, well, okay. I'm getting distracted. This was made by somebody in the pottery shop. The last name of this man was Pratt, which is kind of fun because my good friend Kathy, her last name is Pratt, and her husband's last name is still Pratt. Anyway, I liked that. But there were several potters that would do stuff. So it's stamped with the maker, Greenfield Village Pottery, the item is numbered. And I just thought this bowl was great because it's like a terracotta. I've used it already today to put chocolate chips in. I've gotten it dirty. I was making granola. Anyway, this size bowl I will use a ton in the kitchen. It would also be fun to display some of my crafting stuff in here at my counter, or put in ephemera pieces if I'm working on a project. I just love it. And they did say on this little card that they create items that are like reproductions of things that are in Henry Ford's collection. So he collected all kinds of innovative things, or things that showed the progression of mechanical discovery or something like that, maybe you could say. Anyway, this was, I guess, an item that's in his collection, so I'm assuming, because it looks like a very basic historical type piece. They said they also do things that, let's see, explore the boundaries of contemporary American pottery. Well, that would probably be something I don't like. I don't want to explore boundaries. I want something that's functional and useful in my home, that's also beautiful and handmade. So I just thought this fit the bill for that. It's absolutely gorgeous, and this color scheme works well in my kitchen. My floor is kind of this color. It's like laminate flooring. It's not real wood. It looks like wood, and it's got like this kind of orangey, honeyish color to it. And then we have black hardware on our cabinets and on our lighting. So I just thought that would be good. I know this has been quite a ramble. Some of you have mentioned you like seeing things from where I've been. Kim, you had mentioned that, and so there you go. Look up the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan, and you'll see where I was. But if anybody else is interested in that kind of thing, that's the show and tell from that. And I wanted to share the books with you because I had mentioned that. So if you're not aware of Christian book distributors, sometimes they have some really good prices. Christianbook.com is where you find that. The shipping is the thing that can get you, but they had a special for Memorial Day, and so I got all those books, free shipping. That is all for now. I have talked long enough. I hope you're doing well, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.